Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we are doing another project with peel and paper, this time upstairs bathroom. We wanted to give it a little bit of extra pizzazz, but we didn't want to do the entire room with wallpaper. So we're just going to do this accent wall on the back of it. We wanted to put a little bit of color to it. So we got this is called Nature. You could get a ton of different colors, a ton of different patterns, but what I really like about this is it feels like and looks like it has a texture to it. So you can see it looks very expensive. It actually has a very nice texture to it. So it looks like it's kind of like a, almost like a fabric when it's not. So it's that, and it's nice and thick. We loved how it turned out downstairs for our downstairs powder room. The paper is really nice and thick. It's very easy to work with. And because I'm old school, we're gonna go back to pasting it again. So we're gonna put paste in the walls, and we're gonna do that way because I honestly think it's a lot easier to work with than the peel and stick. It's my preference. It's just the way I like to work, and I've done it before. So we're gonna get started here. We're gonna do this back accent wall. It should be really quick. There's nothing in the way. There's not even a light switch in the way for us to take off. So it'll be a nice quick project for us. The nice thing about this too is this comes in the right order. So as you start unrolling, I'm just gonna quick show you at the end of this. It gives you what panels and in what order. This one's a little bit longer than downstairs, so I'm gonna keep going. There it is, panel 1 of 8. So our success is when we get to 8 of 8 and we're putting up that last panel. So that's it, we're gonna get started. This is Nature, but you can do a ton of different colors and a ton of different patterns. So check out Peel and Paper for something that you like for your situation, for whatever you're doing. Okay, so you can see I'm rolling paste on, and I use a really smooth type roller, so I've used that. And you can get the peel and stick. If that's your jam, you don't like this is a little bit too messy for you or whatever it may be, you can get whatever you want, right? So if you want to do peel and stick, do peel and stick. Whatever works for you is something that you can do, right? So I just like to do it this way. I like that you can move it a little bit, and it just works really well for what I like to do. So what I like about this particular pattern is it's non-repeating. It's very easy to line up and just kind of merge together, which is really nice because it makes it look very seamless, and I love that about it. Okay, after I get the paper put up on the wall, I'd like to tuck it in really tight. I'm using a plastic blade. I really prefer a metal, but my metal one's got a little bit of rust on it, and so I don't want to use that and have it on this white wall. But the key is really make sure your blade's nice and sharp, and you're never going to lift your blade off from cutting. So as long as you do that, you'll have a nice clean line and a clean cut. So if you do that, never lift it up until you get to the end. Then when you peel it off, you don't have to worry about if you cut from this way and go halfway and cut the other way and you're not quite right, you're going to end up peeling it and you'll end up have a little bit of a problem. You'll fray your paper. So that's the key to that. And then the second thing is obviously when you get glue up on the ceiling, you're going to need to wipe that down. I actually prefer a bigger sponge than this too, but can't find it right now. And so a sponge is a sponge. So you're going to want to make sure to wipe all that glue off the ceiling and in between your seams, otherwise you're going to see that. So this is where my seam's at. You can't see it that well with this paper, which is why I love it. But you're going to want to wipe your seam down because otherwise that glue will be a little bit darker, and you definitely don't want that to show through, and you don't want the finish to look different. So you want to make sure to wipe it down really good to get that glue off. So we're going to keep moving here, and then I'll show you even on the bottom too. When you're doing the bottom, it's the same thing. Be gentle, but tuck it in. Tuck it in as best as you can up into the thing. Some people like to do this because it kind of gives you a corner to go into. But the same thing is true. Don't lift your blade. Just keep tucking it in. Don't lift your blade up until you get to the very end. So you're making one cut, and you should have a perfect cut like that. pretty much every time. And give it a good wipe down. And then the other thing too is tuck it in, because you want to make sure you have glue in there, because the pieces that are going to peel up the most are the bottom and the top and the seams. So you want to make sure you have really good glue in there. You don't have any bubbles or anything like that in there, so it's sticking really well to the wall. So this is what they sell at a Home Depot or a big box store for paste, and I thought, that is not going to be enough. We're not going to even do a wall with it. But it really goes a long way. You're putting enough on, basically, but it's really like Elmer's glue goes a long way for school projects. This is kind of the same thing. It's a lot of glue, and basically, what is this, a 1 gallon? A 1 gallon jug. So when you put it on, you're rolling it. You're not going to want to if you're rolling it on, they say to roll it on. If you're rolling it on, you do not want a really thick napped roller. This one's really smooth. It's for smooth surfaces. It's a 6-inch roller. I've used it to paint before and things like that, but now it's going to be my glue roller. And it works really well. Sometimes you'll drip a little bit and things like that, but no big deal. Just get it wiped up right away. But it puts on a good amount without overdoing it. And so the paper's been sticking really well to it. So you just want to get a good amount on. And then once you smooth it all out, you'll push the excess glue to the outside or to the bottom anyway. And so you just got to keep moving along, and it gives a nice even amount of glue to the wall as well. So one thing I really do emphasize for myself is the paste is really nice, because the peel and stick, the problem is if you have a big wall like this wall, right? If you stick it to that wall and you have a problem and you have to peel it off, sometimes it'll pull off your paint, sometimes it'll pull off your drywall, sometimes it just makes a huge mess with doing that. Or you get these wrinkles in your paper when you're putting it on. You can see we don't have a wrinkle on anything, right? The paste allows you to kind of slide it a little bit, to slide it into place, and all that little bit of sliding to get it in place makes, I think, for a more perfect job. The peel and stick is great if you have small areas. You can put it on and you don't have to worry about angling or having it wrong. This is a lot better for paste for big projects. But this came out super nice. It actually looks like it has a texture, which is crazy. Okay, so that's it. So we knocked this out in about an hour just for this accent wall. And obviously, you know, it comes in custom colors. That's the biggest thing for peel and paper, is that it comes in customizations, things like that. It does come in peel and stick. That's another big thing. We did this with paste. It works awesome. It's almost seamless in what you have for your seams on this wall. I love that it doesn't have a repeating pattern for this one, so I don't have to worry about that. Also, with something as tall as this, having a partner hold the bottom of the wallpaper away from the wall so it doesn't stick to the wall is really helpful. So Holly helped a lot with just kind of holding it off the wall so I could line things up really quickly, and everything just turned out really, really well for this one. So that's it. Subscribe to our channel, give us a thumbs up. If you haven't, or if you are checking out how you can do some accent walls or use wallpaper in your home, peel and paper is a great option for customizations. The wallpaper is really a good quality wallpaper. It's not that thin stuff that if you get it wet, it tears. It's really a nice thick wallpaper. It does a fantastic job. So we'll see you next time. Thanks.